Hello again out there, LinkedIn. I wanted to start 2019 out right and discuss why computer vision is so important and how it's going to impact all of our lives within the next 1 to 5 years. Now, we see computer vision in all types of scenarios in mixed reality devices such as the HoloLens or the Magic Leap 1. They're utilizing different types of infrared flood emitters, and there's other sensors like the Stereolab Z Mini and Z, occipital core and structure, Intel RealSense depth cameras like the D435. But what this really does is it allows computers and machines and everything from industrial factory robotics and farm equipment and even semi-autonomous cars and soon to be flying drones and other types of robotics to run more efficiently and intelligently, and they're more aware of their environmental surroundings. We've seen that it will be used in certain face recognition and identification verification, technology platforms, also emotion analysis and crowd analytics, such as Matty Squarzoni's company Sitch AI. How you doing, my friend? Autonomous vehicles are using several different types of computer vision. Number one, they're mostly probably using radar in the forward-facing section of the vehicle itself, which is utilizing pulses of high frequency, 500 megahertz to 40 gigahertz, electromagnetic waves that are reflected off any type of object back to the source. Also LiDAR, light imaging detection and ranging. This is using lasers, a higher frequency, longer range, a higher resolution. Infrared flood emitters, which is what you're seeing here, 30, 40, 50,000 points reflecting off to a CMOS, and ultrasonic sensors. On the side note, sonar is related to this, as it's an underwater system that was designed to detect objects by emitting a series of sound pulses, and then the system calculates that distance from the source. Now, if I remember my history right, we can thank Lewis Nixon around 1906 for this, as he was searching for a way to detect incoming icebergs right after the Titanic sank. Could you imagine if the Titanic had any kind of environmental awareness? All those people would be alive today. Obviously, this guy was just brilliant. And on a side note, I think it was about 9 or 10 years later, Paul Langevin later invented the sonar type device for submarines, and for echolocation by using a piezoelectric properties of quartz. But it's really interesting for all this type of research. But really what this comes down to is providing machines and robotics, human-like environmental awareness. They understand where they are so they can, complete their pre-programmed application, whatever they're supposed to be doing. If that drone's going to come deliver you a pizza within 25 minutes, he has to be able to see very fine wires or other things in his way, whereas ultrasonic technology is only going to tell you that there's a wall or something there. It's not going to tell you how far away it is. That's very important. And then autonomous vehicles, companies like Waymo and Google and Apple, and Tesla, obviously. I think Waymo is now testing autonomous Uber or other types of Lyft down in Arizona. I can't remember if that got yanked or not. But this is very close. And I know all those people out there who are Uber drivers or Lyft drivers who use this as additional income. I have a message for you. This is not going to last very long. You take advantage of it while you can, because eventually, in my prediction, less than 2 years, all of those jobs will be gone. Also, coincidentally, if you look at the trucking industry, this is the one that's kind of frightening for me, because there's 4 or 5 million people employed in the logistics industry for shipment of all types of products across the United States. Once you have an autonomous vehicle that can take something from point A to point B, and it has a safety record of 99.8%, the insurance industries are going to mandate that they have to utilize this technology. They'll have no choice. They'll be like, listen, you guys don't start utilizing this, you don't use it within your company's vision for the next year or two, your insurance rates are going to rocket. They're going to skyrocket, right? I mean, that only it's common sense. It makes complete sense for any kind of a company to look at what's being offered out there as a safety initiative and try to push their customers to use it. I mean, that's right here, guys. So, but as I'm trying to educate you all on understanding the premise of the importance of this in the future, just think about it this way. Any kind of device that is able to see and understand its surroundings is going to rely on this type of technology for tracking. And Microsoft is going to release their new Azure sensor early next year. I'm hoping that we're going to get a prototype to test it. Because this next sensor is going to drive not only that $500 million contract with the Army, they sold 100,000 units. There's a reason. It's because their sensing technology is much more advanced, coupled with data center and 99.999% uptime, less than 2 or 3 minutes a year, and all of that infrastructure. Obviously, that's the reason they won that contract. But these sensing technologies they play a very big part in that. And if you couple that with machine learning algorithms such as 6AI, I believe it was, that's using machine learning algorithms and just a simple camera to spatially map your environment. Now, if you partner that with a depth sensing technology that is able to provide programmers information about how far things are away, boy, you have a very powerful system. But let me know if you guys have any questions on this. Again, this is Tony Rogers. Have a great night.